All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to have you once again on The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for undiluted political analysis. House of Reps passed bill to increase Lagos state local government from 20 to 57. Now, Lagos is the commercial center of Nigeria, and ordinarily, the creation of more local governments should be applauded. But Lagos has 20 local governments, and you are not looking at adding 5 or 10 or even 15 more to make them 35 local governments. Instead, you want to create 37 more to make it 57 local governments. It is obvious that someone is trying to make 37 more thugs local government chairmen. It is clear that someone wants to triple the FAC allocations that go to Lagos State. The people, as usual, will benefit nothing. It is all about one man. And mind you, we have come to a point where a great part of our national budget is funded by loans. So these men are no longer stealing from our treasury. They have emptied the treasury already. They now borrow to steal. That's why I keep saying that if Nigeria does not end the APC will end Nigeria. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. This one sparked a sad debate nationwide. And next is that update on the war between Trump and Tinubu, a careless development that has got Nigerians home and abroad really scared. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. A chieftain of the coalition ADC reacting to the performance of the ADC in the just concluded by-elections. See the video.
When Peter Obi contested for the presidency, he didn't have a structure, and he won 12 states. But does he have 12 governors in seat? No. His personality was important. So sometimes the structures are important, but the personality is also critically important. So just like he didn't have structures, and yet he was able to win the presidential election in 12 states, including Lagos.
Yeah,
because of his personality.
You have to put that in.
It's very important because he was a presidential candidate from there in another party who eventually won the election, but he won in Lagos. So what we should understand is that the personalities are critical in these elections. Now, if Peter Obi were on a ballot during this Saturday's election, you will see a different thing. If, for instance, El-Rufai was on a ballot, it would be different. If Atiku Abubakar were on a ballot, it would be a different thing. If a Tambua was on a ballot, it would be a different thing. But these people are not on the ballot. So the image and political influence that they carry may not go for candidates that, first of all, they did not, nurture into the election. So that should be made very clear that the performance of the ADCC in this election is a wonderful performance, in the sense that this is a party that was virtually silent until the coalition came about. I'm not sure that you had a couple of people come and talk about ADC on Arise anyway. But now that awareness is growing, and we are methodical about it, like I said, because we are not yet there, but we have a program that will get there long before 2027.
It's almost around the corner.
Yeah, we have the program, we know the dates.
You heard that. That was a chieftain of the coalition ADC there reacting to the performance of the party in the just concluded by-elections. Now, it will be funny of anyone to expect that the coalition was going to get ahead of the ruling APC in the just concluded elections. It is too early for that. As a matter of fact, the ADC deserves so much credit for some of the victories they secured in the just concluded elections. But there are two takes from this video and from the elections generally. First of all, the ADC has seen firsthand what the APC plans to do in 2027: rigging, vote buying, violence, writing of results, as the case may be. So the opposition must begin to spell out practical ways to prevent this. If not, there is no point forming a coalition. If they are going to allow the same old practice to continue, then it is better not to waste our time, because the judiciary, the police, and everybody will be on their side. So what are the countermeasures you have to all these anomalies through which they plan to rig themselves back in? That is the conversation we ought to be having now. Then 2, the interviewee there said it is not just about the party, but about the personality of the candidate. And then he spoke about Obi's achievement in the last election, even though he ran under a structureless Labour Party. And this proves that Obi has the best personality and is in fact the most widely accepted presidential candidate in Nigeria today. And it will be delightful for the coalition to go with the person who has the best personality as their choice for flag bearer come 2027. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that one from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs that shocked Nigerians. And next is that update on the war between Trump and Tinubu. Let's start by taking that update from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Look at how the papers reported it. We have disbursed 419 billion naira conditional cash transfers to nearly 6 million Nigerians. We are to pay 54 billion naira to 2.2 million beneficiaries in August, Tinubu government claims. Bola Tinubu's administration has said that its government will reach over 2.19 million Nigerians this August through its conditional cash transfer program. The Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Tanko Sununu, made this known while speaking on Channels TV Sunrise daily program on Monday. In August, we are going to reach out to 2,190,000 people. The process is that the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office will now harvest vulnerable Nigerians based on their lowest cadre in the National Social Register, he said. Explaining further, the minister said the initiative was targeted at vulnerable citizens who will receive direct cash payments. For those Nigerians, it is a rapid conditional cash transfer. So far, we have disbursed 419 billion to 5.968 million Nigerians, he said. Another 54 billion will be disbursed at the end of August to almost 2,119 million Nigerians, and we are shifting from doing transfer anonymously. It will be done publicly. We will call the press and give data, Sununu added. We can even go as far as showing the number of beneficiaries for each state. Where we had problems before now was that things were not being made public. But now, as part of our accountability and transparency, we will tell each state, this is the amount we are giving to your state, and these are the beneficiaries. They can confirm, and anybody who wants to confirm can confirm with the World Bank. You heard that. He said 419 billion naira has already been disbursed to about 6 million Nigerians. Now, they are going to pay another 54 billion to 2.2 million, about 2.2 million Nigerians by the end of this August. And he said this time around, they are going to make it public. They will televise it. So you mean you are going to publicly send 25,000 naira, or is it 75,000 naira they claim they are sending to 2 million Nigerians? How possible is that? What they are planning to do is just to get a few percent, or even 1,000 or 2,000 transfers on air for people to see, real transfers. And then they'll say, okay, you have seen what we are doing. And after 2 or 3 days, everybody will go and sit down. The fact is that we are all in this nation and nobody can fool anybody. You cannot send that amount of money to 6 million Nigerians and we cannot find anybody who knows anybody who has received. We are all in this country. Where are the people that have received? This ministry is top 5 most corrupt ministry in Nigeria today. And this corruption does not deplete our resources alone. Another thing it does is that it insults our collective sensibilities as a people. How can we allow ourselves to be constantly lied to in this manner? Does anybody remember the N-Power program? How many people was the N-Power program accommodating? But we could see, Nigerians could see how some Nigerians around them were benefiting from the N-Power. If you are running a conditional cash transfer program and it is only you and those in the government that can confirm it, then it is clearly fake as can be. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update on the war between Tinubu and Trump began circulating. About 48 hours ago, the US government said this. Breaking news: Nigerian visa applicants must now provide 5-year social media history. US Embassy. And they went ahead to say this: omitting social media handles used within 5 years could lead to denial, US tells visa applicants. Now, that was the US government asking Nigerians who apply for their visas henceforth to attach social media handles that they have used in the last 5 years. Now, the Tinubu government hours ago responded to this new restriction harshly, sparking national debate. Let's take the response from the Tinubu government. Look at how the papers reported it. Breaking news: the federal government of Nigeria has said it will reciprocate after the US government mandated Nigerian visa applicants to disclose their social media profiles and activities in the last 5 years. This is in response to the new US regulations requiring applicants to disclose their social media history and other online activities. In response, Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Kimiebi Ebienfa stated that the country would readily impose the same requirements on American visa applicants. We are aware of the development. I think it is part of the new measures they informed us about before implementation. On things of this nature, the best we can do is to carry out reciprocal action. Some people from the US might want to apply for a visa and we will adopt the same measures, he said. Ebienfa noted that the government plans to hold an interagency meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Interior, and the National Intelligence Agency (NIA) to determine the most comprehensive response to the new US visa regulations. He added, the government will have an inclusive meeting that will involve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Interior, and also our National Intelligence Agency (NIA). So the stakeholders that are involved will have a meeting and agree on our best way to respond to it holistically. And this tweet here by Prayator says, all these dumb responses, if we must reciprocate, let us do it by developing the country. Who is stupid to believe we can actually deny foreigners entry? This same country with porous borders? I laugh. And this tweet by Mbuya says, the US economy, $27 trillion. Nigeria's $477 billion. US global clout, unmatched. Nigeria's global leverage, negligible. Yet, Abuja's default response is, we will reciprocate. Reciprocate what exactly? It is better to build a Nigeria that people don't have to escape from. It is as simple as that. Now, I think the Tinubu government must be very careful not to start a war that they can't even sustain for a second. This statement they made here is a joke. They cannot restrict foreigners from coming to Nigeria, but it is a reckless joke because unlike Nigeria, developed countries don't joke when it comes to diplomatic tussles. If the US puts restrictions on your visa applications and you publicly state like this from your Ministry of Foreign Affairs that you are also going to place restrictions on their own visa applications, or you go to the extent of placing the restrictions even though nobody is applying for the visa, they will see it as a challenge. And by the time they start rolling out other sanctions on you, it is ordinary Nigerians who do business with the United States and these other countries that will suffer. The Nigerian government should better not destroy people's lives any further. And don't forget that Canada just, ruled that the APC and PDP are terrorist organizations. So if you are talking about visa restrictions, they said bring 5 years of social media, history. That would be a joke when they begin to act on that ruling that it is a terrorist political party that is in power in this country. These people should better be careful. Don't joke with things like this. If you are angry about the visa restrictions, quietly begin to develop your country so that this exodus will stop. You destroyed your country and people are running away. And these people that are even providing solace for your people, you want to begin to act as if you are at par with them. It doesn't make any sense at all. Look at people that, okay, how about the treatment that you guys go outside to receive? They are talking about visa restrictions and you want to open mouth and talk. You think this is a joke? These people should better not try to play these silly games with serious countries. I suggest that representative, that spokesman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should immediately withdraw that statement. There is so much problem in Nigeria, and we have to be honest about the way we will be viewed by any group of people that are serious. This is not something to say you want to reciprocate or you want to be angry about. What we should do is to channel our energy into fixing this country so that we can get this respect that we desire from other countries of the world. Anyway, make I leave am here, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away, don't go away.